Well, ENCA's Masego Rahlaga was at the launch of the Safer Festive Season operation. It promises heightened police visibility through deploying more police officers at identified hotspots. And she joins us now. Masego, good evening. What else did officials have to say at the launch?
Good evening, Kathy. Well, it was the acting Provincial Police Commissioner, Max Masha, who gave the keynote address. He specifically was telling the police officers to remain, vigilant and to stay steadfast in making sure that people who commit crimes are arrested. He was, of course, also speaking to some of the Metro police officers about arrests that have to be made. For instance, Kathy, with drunk driving, as you know, that has been South Africa's main problem in terms of the road carnage during the festive season and seasons such as Easter. So he also spoke about that, but he also had a stern warning, Kathy, to parents. Parents, he says, most of the time during these seasons you find parents who just basically abandon their children to go have some fun. And he was saying you cannot have fun at the expense of your children's lives. And he was saying to those parents that we will arrest you and we'll throw away the keys. But of course, he was also speaking specifically about malls. During these times, you find crimes at malls increasing. Specifically, the suspects looking at shops such as jewelry shops and cell phone shops. That's where we've seen most of these robberies happen, at malls and shopping centers. And he was saying he does believe in the security at the malls, but police have also said that they would increase their visibility around these areas as well. And of course, there's borders, like the Beitbridge border, which is one of our busiest in South Africa, saying that there'll be increased visibility there, more stops there, because of course in the festive season we expect more people to be going home or coming this side to visit. So he was saying that there'd be more visibility there as well. But we've heard these promises before, Kathy. And
let's talk a little bit about, the capacity of the police in terms of intelligence, because much of what happens, whether it's the mall robberies, whether it's the cash in transit heists, many of them can be prevented through intelligence. And of course, earlier on in the week, we heard Becky Cele speaking about how some of their efforts are being improved as a result of increasing capacity. Is the Gauteng SAPS also following the same lead from national, or how do they plan on bringing it down?
Well, Kathy, he did actually make mention a lot to what the minister said earlier this week regarding any crime, whether it's cash in transit. He was saying that, there was also the whole point that the minister made earlier this week about making sure that there's a gang unit within the police to make sure that areas such as Gauteng, for instance, in Westbury, where we saw those service delivery protests erupt about gang violence there. Of course, there's also some in the Western Cape, for instance, Kylie, are saying they would definitely also adhere to what the minister said about increasing that unit and making sure that there's enough police force there to make sure that there's no gang violence, especially during this time. But also, Kathy, like I was saying, there's been these promises before, and the statistics show, that it's going the other way around to what the police are saying they're trying to do. So the question, of course, is, are police probably just... There's too little police in South Africa for the amount of crimes that happen. I mean, we saw that the road carnage, for instance, in the festive season, the last festive season, did go down by 11%, which is great. But the crime has not gone down. And also, one life is one life too many already on these roads. So whether it's 1,700 last year and 1,800 the previous year, it's still something that needs to be sorted out. And all these campaigns that government seems to be launching is not working. So they need to find exactly where the problem is, and why is it that people don't, for instance, respect the people in blue uniforms, that whether there's police visibility or not, there are criminals that are still brazen enough to still go there and try their luck. So there needs to be more discussions probably, Kathy, in terms of crime and, of course, road carnage and these campaigns that the police keep launching. Where is it that they're going wrong, along with government and other law enforcement entities?
All right, Masego, let's leave it there for tonight. Masego